So you've been thinking about buying a new home. Interest rates are kind of scaring you. You don't know where to start. You don't know anything. You're a new buyer. Where do you start? So this is where we're going to start today. We're going to learn about the 10 steps of home buying, starting with number one, choosing your realtor. So when you're choosing your realtor, the first thing you want to do is make sure it's a good fit. Make sure it's a good fit. Personality wise, do they offer you the things that you want to have in a realtor? Do you know what you want to have in a realtor? That's the first thing you need to try to figure out. What do you want in a realtor? What are your expectations when it comes to your realtor? All realtors are not created equal. We're all people, we're all different, and we all have things that we specialize in, things that we are stronger in than others, and you need to find out which one fits you best. The best way to figure that out is opt for a buyer consultation. That's the best way to get to know your realtor. You get to have a conversation with them and do your thing as far as figuring out if this is going to be a good fit. You don't have to pick the first person who picks up the phone. Sometimes that can end up being a bad mistake. Sometimes it can be a good one. It can be a good decision. So you just never know. But when you are in the market to buy a home, make sure you're choosing a realtor who works best with and for you. That's the best thing you can do. Number two, we talked about it real quickly, briefly, buyer consultation. Make sure you're having a buyer consultation so that you can make sure that you and your realtor are on the same page. Make sure you're on the same page because if you're not on the same page, if you want something, if you're looking for something in your home that you didn't communicate with your realtor, how are they supposed to know? They're not mind readers. We're not mind readers, and a good realtor will ask good questions, making sure you know what you need and helping you to actually discover what you need. Sometimes you think you need that. Let's see. Let me think of something crazy. Sometimes you think you need that balcony overlooking the living room. But is that something you really need or is it something that you want? Sometimes wants are something that you can get and sometimes they're not. So that's how you discuss things with your realtor. Number three, getting pre-qualified or pre-approved. Oh my God. Let me just tell you how important that is. Getting pre-approved helps save you and your realtor so much time, effort, and frustration. Guys, I know that $500,000 house looks amazing, but if you aren't pre-qualified for it, guess what? There's really no need for you to go and see it. All you're going to do is disappoint yourself, and you're going to put yourself in a situation where your realtor is now taking the effort to take you to go look at a home that you can't afford. So why are you, especially if you're in the market to look for a home, you don't want to just go looking at homes because that seller is also looking and, they're looking for buyers who are interested. So that's what the game is about. It's not really a game, but that's what the whole thing is. You have the houses on the market and those houses on the market are to be sold, not to go and look at and be looking loose, which is fun, but when you're seriously looking for a home, it's not going to help you out any because it just kind of gives you that, oh, I wish I had that home when it's something you can't afford. So that pre-qualification or pre-approval is needed because you're also going to need it to do step number four, which is once you find your home, you're going to put in an offer. Well, if you don't have a pre-approval, I can promise you in today's market, in today's times, I'm not even sure if I came in, to real estate in 2020. And I've never known a time where pre-approval or pre-qualification, at least, is not required when you're putting in an offer. It just helps it to be taken more seriously. If there's an offer that's being put in and there's no pre-approval, I can promise you that listing agent is going to look at that offer. They're going to present it to their buyer, I meant to their seller, excuse me, and they're not going to consider it because they don't know if you're serious or not, because they don't know if you can afford the home. So, in order to have your offer taken seriously, make sure you're pre approved. It just saves the time, it saves you frustration, and it saves much unnecessary frustration. That's the best word I can come up with. All right, then you have number five. You have gotten your offer accepted. Your offer's been accepted. Excuse me. Your offer's been accepted, and now you're ready to get into your due diligence time period or your inspection period time. So this is where you take the time, examine the home, get it inspected, find out what is or is not going on with the home so that you can make a wise decision, and you have that time period where you can actually make a decision whether you want to stay in the contract or if you want to exit the contract and go look for another home that might be more suitable or that might not come with as many problems, or something that fits you a little bit better once you find out what's going on at inspection. And it's also the time where you can kind of ask the seller if there's anything that they can do to alleviate whatever problems are found. Once you get through your inspection period, then you're going to go into your what's called the financial contingency period, or your an appraisal period. So I'm using some words here, and I'm going to come to those later in another video, and we'll talk about those. But we're just going through the home buying process right now. So during your financial contingency and your appraisal contingency, you're going to go in and make sure you turn in all your paperwork, make sure everything is going great with your financing, make sure you finish that whole process, and getting pre-approved helps to speed this along. That's when you come in with your appraisal, depending on the type of loan. If you're coming in with cash, if you're a cash buyer, again, another video we'll talk about later, you actually have the option of skipping the appraisal because you're paying cash. But if you're using any type of government backed loan, FHA, VA, or a conventional loan or USDA, then you're going to need some type of appraisal to make sure that the value of the home matches the purchase price of the home. If those do not match, then that's when you go into negotiations, or there's time for you to kind of think about, okay, can we afford this home with or without this? Again, another video. But and we'll go into more detail on a lot of this later, but I just want to get through the process for you. All right, so we've gotten through the financial contingency and the appraisal. We've gotten a wonderful appraisal, and we are ready to get the keys to your home. You're going to get a clear to close from your financial institution that you are using for your loan. And once you get that, you are good to go. You're going to go meet the attorney, and you're going to get you and your chosen realtor will go and meet at the closing table. And it is celebration for everybody because now you get the keys to your new home. So that's the buying process in a nutshell. But a lot of these things we will go in detail a little bit more later. But I appreciate you coming and visiting me today and learning more about the buying process. What's the 411 about buying? If you've never bought a home before, make sure you go back and re-listen to this again. And don't forget to click the subscribe button so you can learn more about what's going on with the buying process and more about what's going on in Savannah. I hope to meet you guys later in another video. Can't wait to see you there.